Hello and welcome to some Grub with Mark Russell. Today we're doing something simple, Korean food on a budget. So I'm going to be doing Korean chicken. As you can see, I've got a braai pack or pieces of chicken with the skin on and everything. I'm going to be doing all of this in the oven and then serve it with rice. In the top end Korean foods, there are dozens of spices that they blend together to give you the umami flavor. At the moment, it's very difficult to get the Korean chili paste and the Korean chili powder. So I've had to go on a budget, and I've got chilies and I'm going to include them in the chicken. So I'm going to be doing my own version of Korean chicken casserole. So I'm going to be making the sauce and a bit of a rub, and then we're going to put it in the oven for about an hour and a half. So I'm going to be making use of an old friend. I did a pulled pork video. I'm going to put a link in the description below and you can find out what is in this awesome mix. There's a lot of Eastern spices in this mix. So we're going to start out by drizzling some olive oil onto our chicken skins. Then we're going to massage the oil in. We're then going to grab our awesome mix and generously sprinkle the awesome mix over the chicken. We're then going to let the chicken go in the oven on 180 degrees and bake for half an hour. We just want to have the skin sort of caramelize. I'm going to chop small onions into quarters. We're going to have some caramelized onions because there's a lot of sugar in this recipe. I'm then adding my liquids that will be the sauce. I initially put them into glasses thinking it'll be nice for display reasons, but now as you can see I am having to make a plan to get it all out of the glasses. Once it's all into the mixing jug, I'm giving everything a stir, setting it aside, and I will be adding fresh garlic and fresh ginger. You don't have to chop it fine, you just need to chop it enough because it will go through a blending process. As you can see, I'm doing the same with the ginger, cutting the ginger nice and fine, but not chopping it super fine. Then I'm giving it a blend, and I realized halfway through blending that I didn't add the chilies in, so I'm going to cut up 2 chilies to give it sort of a little bit of a burn, but not a very hot flavor. For those hot fundies, you may want to put in Mr. Long Chili over there. Then I'm blending the chilies into the sauce as well, then I'll let it stand. By now it should be time to take the chicken out of the oven. I'm then going to add the onion quarters into the dish. I'm going to drizzle the sauce that we have made over the chicken. So make sure it gets to all the corners and onto all the pieces of chicken. I'm then going to grab a teaspoon, just make sure it gets onto the pieces I've missed. Once that's all done, the dish will then go back into the oven for another half hour. Once the half hour is up, it then comes out of the oven again. This time we're going to flip the chicken. So I'm going to grab 2 forks and I'm going to start turning the chicken. Once that's done, I'm going to add more awesome mix onto the other side of the chicken that hasn't been applied to yet. I then have snap peas that I've rinsed off, and I'm going to put them all on top of the chicken. We're then going to put this dish back in the oven for 15 minutes. Once it is back in the oven, we are going to get started with the rice. I'm going to do a cup of rice. I'm going to rinse it first, put some salt in, and then add 4 cups of boiling water. And then put the lid on, set your timer for 20 minutes. 15 minutes in, I then take the chicken out again. I flip the chicken back to its skin upside. And now the snap peas can go under the chicken and go into the sauce. I'm just putting a bit more pepper here because I love a bit of a peppery taste. Then it goes back into the oven. After 20 minutes the rice is done. I'm then setting it out, and then once the chicken has been in for another 15 minutes, I'm then taking it out, and now we're ready to eat.